Did you take the decision to pile the bodies on top of each other in a freezer?
What do you mean?
Why did you do that?
Well, I only had one deep freezer. I mean, take the decision to pile the bodies on top of each other.
This is Tatiana Fusari. Fusari lived with her husband, Seth Welsh, in Kent County, Michigan. The couple was arrested for the murder of their 10-month-old baby, Mary Welch, who died of dehydration and malnutrition in August 2018. The couple admitted that they noticed that their baby was malnourished, but refused to seek medical care because of their religious beliefs and distrust of medicine and the government. Their beliefs were so strong that 2 of their 3 had never received any medical treatment from a medical doctor. When Seth Welsh noticed the baby was unresponsive, he first called his lawyer before calling 911.
Called my lawyer first thing to ask, what's the next thing I should do.
This is his interaction with 911.
It was bad as a door. How are you old enough? It's another day, right? It is what it is.
At the time of the baby's death, she weighed only 8 pounds. An autopsy revealed that the baby died of chronic malnutrition, which could only have happened if she had been neglected and starved of food and water. Further investigations revealed that the family house was unclean and filled with mold, vermin, and insects. Tatiana Fusari later claimed that she was regularly abused by her husband and was prevented from taking the baby to the hospital. The couple was originally charged with homicide, felony murder, and child abuse in the first degree. This was the couple's reaction to Judge Paul J. Dennefeld's sentence to life imprisonment.
That is a charge called homicide, felony murder. It is life without parole. The second offense that you're both charged with is called child abuse in the first degree, where they're alleging you knowingly or intentionally caused serious physical harm to a child. They're talking about this Mary Welch. It is a felony, possible penalty of up to life imprisonment or any term of years less than life.
They also received additional 15 to 30 years for the first-degree child abuse charge. This is Diana Jean Lovejoy. Diana was a sports coach and fitness instructor who lived with her husband in Carlsbad, California. The couple was married for 7 years before they split. Following a messy divorce and a bitter custody battle, the judge ordered that they should share custody of their son, who was only 3 years at the time. The judge also ordered that she pay her husband, Greg Mulvihill, $120,000 for a stake in their house. 45-year-old Diana didn't like these court orders. She hatched a plan with her 50-year-old boyfriend, Weldon McDavid Jr., an ex-Marine and School of Infantry instructor. She met at the gun range where she was taking shooting lessons. Diana convinced McDavid that Greg, her ex-husband, was abusing her and molesting their child. They conspired to kill Greg and formulated a plan involving luring Greg out to a dark, isolated area. Their plan worked, and McDavid shot Greg in the torso. Luckily, the bullet missed his heart and he survived. During the trial, both conspirators denied that they set out to kill Greg.
You guys are trying to accuse me of... No, we're not. Dude, well, yes, you are. Well,
despite the evidence presented by the prosecution, which suggests that McDavid was hired as a hitman, McDavid insisted that he didn't mean to shoot Greg. He claimed that as an expert gunman, if he intended to kill Greg, he could have easily killed him. When Diana was allowed to address the court, she expressed pain that people agreed that she was capable of hiring an assassin to kill her ex-husband.
Some people in this world seem to think that I would have it in me to do this.
Diana and McDavid were charged with conspiracy to commit murder and attempted murder. However, McDavid received an extra charge of intentionally discharging a firearm with intent to inflict great bodily injury. Diana was sentenced to 26 years to life by Superior Court Judge Sim von Kalinowski, while McDavid was handed 50 years to life for pulling the trigger. This is how Diana reacted when she heard the verdict was guilty.
Commit murder.
She was stretchered out of the courtroom and revived. While Diana did get 50 years behind bars, which resulted in her literally fainting in court, it still does not compare to the most shocking reaction ever in court by Erica Butts and Shanita Cunningham. This is Erica Mae Butts and Shanita Latrice Cunningham. The South Carolina women were in court for the murder of a 3-year-old girl, Serenity Richardson, in November 2009. Serenity visited Erica, her godmother and mother's best friend. Erica has been the childhood friend of Serenity's mother, Aisha Richardson, and had been in the hospital when Aisha gave birth to little Serenity. Aisha brought the baby to stay with Erica for 2 weeks. But Erica and Shanita, who were both 25 years old, repeatedly beat the visiting girl with plastic coat hangers and a belt. Serenity's feet were the only part of her body without strike marks, and the beating led to her death. When questioned, the couple claimed they had no idea that the beating would kill the child. Erica admitted that she tried to discipline the child with a belt because she urinated on the floor. Further investigations revealed that the marks on little Serenity's body showed that she had been assaulted for weeks. During their trial, Shanita's attorney claimed that Erica abused her client. However, Erica's lawyer insisted that Shanita was the aggressive and controlling partner. They were both charged with homicide and child abuse and sentenced to life imprisonment. On hearing that they would spend the rest of their lives behind bars, both women went hysterical, fell to the floor, and wailed uncontrollably. Here is their reaction.
You will get credit for any of the time that you've served.
Eventually, they were picked off the floor and wheeled out of the courtroom. Collapsing to the floor after hearing the rest of your life will be spent behind bars is a common theme for these reactions, but Elizabeth Escalona took her sentence in a more shocking but different way. This is Elizabeth Escalona. The 23-year-old mother of 5 was arrested for torturing Jocelyn Cedillo, her 2-year-old daughter. Elizabeth was punishing Jocelyn for a potty training issue. The court heard that she hit the toddler with a shoe and belt and glued her hands to the wall.
Hit her.
You hit her? And what else did you do?
I kicked her.
You kicked her? What else did you do?
Jocelyn was in a coma for several days after the attack. Fortunately, little Jocelyn survived, but for beating her daughter to within inches of her life, Elizabeth was charged with first-degree injury to a child. During the trial, Elizabeth wailed when asked to count the bruises she inflicted on Jocelyn. She agreed with the prosecution that only a monster could inflict the injury. Investigations revealed that Elizabeth was an abusive mom who frequently beat her kids and used drugs. Still, she pleaded for mercy, claiming she was sexually abused as a child. Her pleas didn't move District Judge Mitchell, who found her guilty of the charges against her.
I find you guilty of the offense charged. I'll set your sentence at confinement in the penitentiary for a period of 99 years. The sentence goes into effect today. As required by law, you will receive all back time credits.
Immediately, when she heard her sentence, she bent over in tears. However, the louder reaction came from her mother, who wailed and screamed about her baby. Elizabeth would be eligible for parole in 30 years. Her children are now under the custody of their grandmother, including Jocelyn. Fainting, crying, or being left in a state of disbelief is expected. But how about becoming engulfed in rage and anger?
Did you take the decision to pile the bodies on top of each other in a freezer?
What do you mean?
Why did you do that?
Well, I only had one deep freezer. I mean, take the decision to pile the bodies on top of each other.
This is Michelle Blair. The 35-year-old mother of 4 is in court for the murder of 2 of her children. In 2015, Blair was served an eviction notice for not paying her rent. She always asked friends and family for cash and could not keep a job. She stopped calling when they advised her to get a job. Diana didn't heed their advice, and on the morning of March 2015, a team from the district court began removing her property from the house. What they discovered next shocked the team and shook the community. In her living room was a deep freezer containing a teenage girl's frozen body covered in a plastic bag. The team quickly contacted the police. When they arrived, they discovered yet another body of a boy in the freezer. The police began searching for her. It wasn't long before she was found in a neighbor's apartment with her 2 kids, aged 17 and 8. She was quickly arrested after brief questioning. The bodies were sent to a morgue, thawed, and an autopsy was performed. The autopsy confirmed the bodies to be those of 9-year-old Stephen Gage Berry and 13-year-old Stoney Ann Blair, 2 of Blair's children who were reported missing. The report also revealed that the bodies had been in the freezer for more than a year. Blair was charged with first-degree premeditated murder. At the Wayne County Circuit Court, Blair confessed to the murder of her 2 kids, but insisted that she wasn't sorry for them and would kill them again.
She told me how she used to sit on his face, and he said, Mom, it stinks real bad. And she was, you know what I'm saying? Fuck that. Yes, I did. And then
She said that almost a year after her ordeal with Stephen, she discovered that Stoney was raping her son and killed her too.
I would kill him again.
During her sentencing and custody hearing, Blair was irate, frequently made outbursts, and interrupted the attorneys, insisting that they were lying. She pleaded guilty to 2 counts of first-degree premeditated murder and was sentenced to life imprisonment. These reactions are nothing compared to how drunk drivers react to receiving life in prison. You don't want to miss these.